In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NBA games happening on October 28, 2023, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Philadelphia 76ers versus Toronto Raptors. On Saturday night, we have an electrifying contest between 2 Atlantic Division rivals. The Philadelphia 76ers journey north of the border to face the Toronto Raptors. In their season opener, the 76ers narrowly fell to Milwaukee in a 118-117 road loss, but managed to cover as 6-point underdogs. On the other hand, Toronto clinched victory in their home opener by beating Minnesota 97-94 while being 1-point favorites. Last season, the 76ers claimed victory in 3 of their 4 matchups against the Raptors. The Philadelphia 76ers aim to bounce back after their heartbreaking 118-117 road loss to the Bucks on Thursday. Tyrese Maxey led the team with a stellar performance, accumulating 31 points and 8 assists on 1-0 of 2-2 shooting. Joel Embiid contributed 24 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists, while Kelly Oubre Jr. scored 27 points on an impressive 9 of 1-1 shooting off the bench. Tobias Harris chipped in with 20 points on 8 of 9 shooting. As a team, the 76ers displayed excellent accuracy, shooting at a 51% rate from the field and nailing 16 of 35 three-point attempts. Despite a sluggish start and a 19-point deficit to overcome, they rallied back, only to be stung in the final seconds by the Bucks, courtesy of Damian Lillard's late-game heroics. In the meantime, the Toronto Raptors were targeting their 2nd consecutive win but were derailed by the Bulls in a hard-fought 104-103 overtime road loss last night. Scottie Barnes was the standout performer, registering a triple-double with 22 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists. Pascal Siakam added 18 points, while Gary Trent Jr. contributed 16 points off the bench. As a team, the Raptors shot 46% from the field, but only connected on 9 of their 36 three-point attempts. They fought hard to claw back from a 19-point deficit to seize the lead, only to relinquish a 17-point advantage of their own and lose in the final moments of overtime. The narrative surrounding this contest is one of Nick Nurse's revenge, as the head coach was relieved of his duties by the Raptors after leading them to their first ever NBA title 4 years prior. A coach's motivation can have a direct impact on the game's outcome, especially if Nurse allows players such as Embiid, Maxey, and Harris to play extended minutes with a substantial lead to make a statement. Toronto is playing the 2nd game of a back-to-back, with a travel day in between. The Raptors faced off against Chicago on Friday night before having to rush home to prepare for a well-rested 76ers team. There will be no Harden drama, as it was already announced that the All-Star will not participate in this game. Philadelphia enjoys a significant advantage inside, with Jakob Poeltl unable to match up against Embiid either in the paint or on the perimeter. This allows Embiid, the reigning MVP, to have an easier time scoring than he did against Milwaukee. While the Raptors exhibit their strength on the wing, PJ Tucker has the potential to disrupt any hot-handed Raptor, while Maxey, Oubre, and Harris handle the scoring duties. In their 4 meetings last season, Philadelphia posted a 3-1 straight-up record against Toronto, while the games were split 2-2 against the spread. The Sixers secured victories in the last 3 encounters, including a 7-point win in their final matchup in late May. Toronto's performance on Friday displayed several deficiencies, especially during the first half of the game. Down the stretch, they demonstrated their inability to maintain a lead, as they were outscored 24-14 over the final 8 minutes of play. The Sixers had a solid opener and remained competitive throughout the game despite being undermanned. Maxey appears ready to fill some of the scoring void left by Harden's absence, and with improved diversity from their bench, the Sixers are positioned for success. Embiid matches up favorably against the Raptors and averaged 28 points per game against them last season. The 76ers are still without James Harden due to personal reasons, while the Raptors are likely to miss Og Anunoby, who left last night's game with a muscle cramp. The 76ers may be disappointed they couldn't secure victory against the Bucks on Thursday, but they could have easily been overwhelmed. This loss could provide them with a significant confidence boost. The Toronto Raptors, while appealing in the underdog role due to their defensive efforts and ability to wear down opponents, are playing this one on 0 days rest following last night's heart-wrenching loss. Philadelphia is not about to start the season 0-2, and the Raptors are likely to run out of steam on the tail end of their back-to-back. The line is reasonably set, so the Philadelphia 76ers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. After Toronto's performance in the first half on Friday night, their level of play appears unpredictable. Without a star or a clear leader, the Raptors often make offensive mistakes, which was evident in them squandering a 10-point lead over the final 8 minutes of regulation due to poor shot selection. It's still early in the season, and we don't anticipate them tightening things up overnight, particularly after a flight home. The Sixers had a respectable opening game, scoring 118 points, but they seem to lack a piece or two on offense. They cannot rely on Kelly Oubre to contribute 27 points off the bench every night, and Tyrese Maxey is unlikely to be a consistent 30-plus point scorer. The Sixers need to demonstrate that they have more offensive firepower before we fully endorse them as a dominant defensive force. Toronto hit the under in their opener against Minnesota as neither team reached 100 points. Now, the Raptors are playing at home after facing Chicago less than 24 hours ago. While it is still early to assess league-wide pace of play stats, dunksandthrees.com has placed the Raptors 18th overall in terms of tempo. Philadelphia, on the other hand, typically plays at a slower pace, primarily to capitalize on Joel Embiid's interior presence. The Sixers did not rely heavily on Embiid in the post against Milwaukee because Giannis and Brook Lopez are excellent interior defenders. In contrast, the Raptors lack a rim protector who can effectively challenge Embiid, which should make it easier for Embiid to score. The Toronto players will likely feel the effects of fatigue following their back-to-back game, and the Sixers intend to slow down the pace and feed Embiid on numerous possessions. Given these circumstances, we anticipate that both teams will struggle to score. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Miami Heat versus Minnesota Timberwolves. A cross-conference battle is set to ignite the basketball court as two playoff teams from the previous season collide in the land of 10,000 lakes. The Miami Heat hit the road for a matchup with the Minnesota Timberwolves on Saturday night. Miami, fresh off a narrow 103-102 victory over the Pistons, will seek to bounce back from a 119-111 road loss to the Celtics last night, where they remained competitive until the Celtics' late-game surge. On the other hand, the Timberwolves, coming off a close 97-94 road loss to the Raptors in their season opener, are still in search of their first win. The Heat hold a historical edge over the Timberwolves with a 35-31 record in regular season meetings. Last season, these teams split two encounters, with Miami claiming a 113-110 home win in the most recent matchup on December 26, 2022. The Miami Heat aim to recover after a 119-111 road loss to the Celtics on the second night of their back-to-back. Tyler Herro led the way with an impressive 28-point performance, accompanied by 6 rebounds and 6 assists. Bam Adebayo added 27 points along with 7 rebounds and 2 blocks, while Jimmy Butler contributed 14 points despite a challenging 3-of-1 shooting performance. The Heat, as a team, shot 42% from the field and connected on 16 of 33 three-point attempts. They remained neck and neck with the Celtics until the mid-fourth quarter, where the Celtics capitalized on their three-point shooting to pull away. In contrast, the Minnesota Timberwolves are still pursuing their first win of the season after narrowly falling to the Raptors 97-94 in their season opener on the road. Anthony Edwards led the way with an impressive double-double of 26 points and 14 rebounds. Karl Anthony Towns contributed 19 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 blocks, while Rudy Gobert managed 15 points, 13 rebounds, and 4 blocks. However, the Timberwolves struggled offensively as a team, shooting just 34% from the field and making only 8 of 31 three-point attempts. Nevertheless, they remained in contention throughout the game and came close to pulling off an upset. The Miami Heat will be without Caleb Martin and Josh Richardson, while the Timberwolves have listed Jaden McDaniels as doubtful due to a calf injury. Despite coming off a challenging loss to the Celtics, the Heat remain competitive against one of the league's top teams. With Jimmy Butler facing his former team, and considering the Heat's ability to stay in the game with some of the best teams in the league, they appear to be in a good position against this young Timberwolves team. The Minnesota Timberwolves enjoy a clear rest advantage, having not played since Wednesday, while the Heat are dealing with the demands of a back-to-back set and travel from Boston. Furthermore, the Heat have injury concerns with Caleb Martin, Josh Richardson, and Haywood Highsmith either out or questionable. Despite the Timberwolves having the edge in terms of rest, the Heat have a superior roster on paper. Getting points with the Heat is an enticing proposition, especially with the Miami Heat's overall quality and the advantage of Jimmy Butler, a former Timberwolves player seeking a victory against his previous team. So the Miami Heat to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. In their season opener, Miami finished under the total, combining with the Pistons to produce 205 points, falling short of the 218.5 point over-under. Last season, Miami had an even split in terms of total outcomes, going 41-41 in relation to the over-under in their regular season games. Additionally, they have trended toward the under lately, with 9 of their last 10 games ending below the total. On the other side, Minnesota's season opener saw the game finish significantly under the total, with the Timberwolves and Raptors producing just 191 points, well below the 220.5 point over-under. In the regular season, the Timberwolves closed with a 43-38-1 record in terms of the over-under. Both teams have showcased early season defensive prowess. Their opening games were marked by impressive defensive performances, with both teams demonstrating an ability to stifle their opponents. The Heat, not known for their three-point shooting, will rely on a slow-paced, half-court style of play, which is expected to decelerate the game. The Timberwolves share a similar approach, focusing more on closing possessions efficiently rather than relying heavily on three-pointers. Therefore, we anticipate this game to be played predominantly in the half-court with a methodical tempo. Considering Miami's potential fatigue on the second night of a back-to-back, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Utah Jazz vs. Phoenix Suns. In the world of NBA, Saturday's roster offers a limited selection of 7 games, and the grand finale of the evening unfolds on the hardwood court with a clash between the Utah Jazz and the Phoenix Suns, both entering this showdown with a 1-1 record. The Utah Jazz are aiming for their second consecutive victory after narrowly defeating the Clippers with a 120-118 score in their last outing. Lauri Markkanen stood out with an impressive double-double performance, scoring 35 points and grabbing 12 rebounds. Kelly Olynyk added a significant 15 points off the bench, while Colin Sexton and Jordan Clarkson contributed 13 points each. The Jazz, collectively, shot 43% from the field and connected on 16 of 41 attempts from beyond the three-point line. The game was a closely contested affair, with the lead going back and forth until the final minutes when Jordan Clarkson hit the game-winning shot to secure the win. On the other side, the Phoenix Suns failed to sustain the momentum from their season-opening win, as they fell to the Lakers in a 100-95 loss in their most recent game. Kevin Durant was the standout performer for the Suns, scoring an impressive 39 points and grabbing 11 rebounds on 1-4 of 2-8 shooting. Eric Gordon contributed 15 points, and Jordan Goodwin added 14 points off the bench. Despite a solid start and leading by as much as 12 points in the third quarter, the Suns struggled offensively in the fourth, managing only 11 points, which allowed the Lakers to overtake them with ease. In this Saturday nightcap, the Suns are favored by just 5.5 points, taking into consideration the absence of Devin Booker and Bradley Beal due to injuries. With a roster heavily reliant on its star players, it's doubtful the Suns can establish a comfortable lead in this matchup. The Suns showcased their dependence on star power in their recent game, where Kevin Durant scored 39 points, but it wasn't enough to secure a victory. The question arises, who will step up to secure a win by a significant margin for the Suns? Perhaps Eric Gordon can deliver 15 points, and Jerkic might contribute 10. But the Suns may struggle to find additional sources of offense to secure a multi-possession lead. On the other hand, the Utah Jazz, although lacking a standout star, boast multiple players capable of stepping up and contributing to the scoring efforts. Despite playing on back-to-back nights, the Utah Jazz aren't on the injury report, unlike the Suns, who are missing 2 of their top 3 players, Bradley Beal and likely Devin Booker. Although the Suns enjoy the home court advantage and additional rest, their role as favorites is a bit steep, considering their injury situation. After a solid win over the Clippers, the Jazz are poised to seize this opportunity against a short-handed Suns team. The Suns, while the favorites, are missing 2 key players, making this game more evenly matched than it initially appears. So the Utah Jazz to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Regarding scoring, the looming question remains, where will the Suns find their offensive contributions? On the contrary, in the first 2 games of the season, the Suns have displayed formidable defensive prowess, ranking as the 6th best team in terms of defensive efficiency, allowing only 98 points per 100 possessions on average. As for historical trends, the under has hit in 4 of the last 6 games between these 2 teams. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.